little bit of a fire. All right, guys, back with the Cutlass here. Got the carb rebuilt. Runs pretty good. Ran into a few issues though. I got it rebuilt with that Jegs Holly rebuild kit. Put it on the car. Seemed to run pretty good, except it had a real bad stumble when you got into the secondaries. And I did have one of the bowls, the needle and seat gaskets on the top, seemed to leak. I played around with it quite a bit, and I got a good buddy. Shout out to my buddy Nate. Big Holly guy. Came down and brought his big box of parts, Holly parts. And what we actually ended up finding, luckily I had a spare carb laying around, and the accelerator pump on the bowl that was on the carb originally, the newer style have a rubber sort of check valve right here. And this older bowl has a check ball and then like a strap that retains the ball. Well, what we found, I don't know if I can zoom in on this enough, the strap that retains the check ball is actually broken and causing the ball to kind of float around in that. And it seemed like every time you would whack the throttle, we wouldn't get a full pump. And we were thinking possibly maybe the fuel was pushing back into the bowl because that check ball was not there seated off. So luckily my buddy had a few parts laying around, and we took that bowl off that other carburetor and put it on this one. Much happier. We did change squirter sizes, and it runs good, revs out real good, nice and crisp. So real happy with that. I did end up getting the drive shaft in the car. I got super lucky. That drive shaft that I found was a good size. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's definitely usable. So I cut down that yoke that I had and put it in, and it fits great. It doesn't look like it's going to have any issues. Hopefully it has no vibration. So what I've got kind of left on the car right now, I'm going to put some diff oil in with some friction modifier. I got to top off the transmission and get the shift linkage adjusted. And then I believe this car is going to be ready to rip, or at least do its first burnout. So I think probably in the next video, I'm probably going to get that all buttoned up. I am probably going to put a new fan setup on this. I do have just a single, like a knockoff Flexolite fan on it. I don't think it's going to cool real well. It doesn't have a shroud or anything. But I do have, I believe it's a Ford Contour dual fan setup. They're super cheap. Like a Dorman part number, they're like $58, $60 off Amazon. I've got one on my Fox Body Mustang, and it cools awesome. Super cheap. And I did measure it up, and it seems like it's going to fit on the Cutlass radiator pretty well. So I think I'm going to go ahead and order one of those. Other than that, the only other thing left that I can think in my mind is I got some Calvert Racing 9010 drag shocks. Get these on there. These won't seem to slide up in the hole on the bottom side of the lower control arm. They're a tight fit. I think if I take a die grinder and grind them back, I think I can get them slid in there. Get these on, and then I think we're ready to rip. Well, I'm going to take a little break in the action of the Cutlass, guys. I just guys want to show you my new score, my latest project. I ended up scoring, let's see if I can get a little better picture of it, a early Ford 1100 series little compact diesel tractor. I got crazy lucky. I've been looking for a little compact tractor for a while. Move stuff around, haul things, mainly for a box scraper and a tiller. And the prices of tractors and everything right now are just so crazy. We got on the old marketplace and scored this gem, which is pretty complete, minus a few wiring things I got to take care of, for $800. I could not pass it up. So this will be my latest little project. It's got a little 2-cylinder diesel in it. Don't know much about it. Seems to run all right. Doesn't seem to leak anything major. The only thing I did find on it, missing a fan belt. I do have a little seepage coming from the head. Might need a head gasket. I'll have to. It's either. Hopefully, it's not a crack. But I might get lucky and just throw a head gasket on it. I found them online. They're really cheap. Other than that, I just couldn't pass it up for $800. So I'll keep this kind of in the loop. Maybe throw in a few little sprinkles of this throughout the videos and stuff as I work on it. But I'm super excited to get a little tractor, especially for $800, and one that runs. I just thought it'd be cool if you guys be interested in it. Drop a comment down below. I'll do a little more insight on it, especially if I dig a little deeper in it. So, all right, guys, thanks.
Well, our nice 373 gear 10 bolt turned into a 250. What is it?
256.
256.
Yeah, a little off on that one.
That's great for drag racing.
Yeah.
And this being a BOP, Buick Oldsmobile Pontiac rear axle, you can't buy parts for it.
Nothing.
So some silicone on it.
Try and break it.
But for some odd reason, it's a posi. I don't know why anybody would ever want a posi.
So at this point, I think we're going to be trying to find a 10 bolt.
Or a 9-inch.
Or a 9-inch. Or something.
Or a truck axle.
Anything at this point that's better than what we got. So I called up Quick Performance. Talked to a real nice guy. Kind of gave me out the insight on the fact that we're screwed, basically. I was hoping maybe we could get a spacer ring for this carrier. They don't have a spacer ring for the carrier. And this carrier's, from what he told me, is pretty much useless for anything above 3, which I'd like to run a 456 or a 411. So I think what we may try and do is just break it, because we got nothing else to use it. I think the thing's going to be a turd, but it's rear end that's already in the car that we don't have to spend. Ooh, that's good stuff right there. We don't have to spend money on, so I think that's kind of where we're at.
I never paid attention. Those are wide tires.
Yeah, they're not bad. We got a screen and deal on those things. So, yeah. I think what we're going to do is get all the big chunks out of it, throw some fresh oil in it, and act like
we didn't open it up?
Nothing ever happened. Because this thing is nasty.
That was kind of clear oil.
Yeah, well, you know.
That's still clear oil.
It's like Jello.
And that actually looks like the upper control arms are mounted lower than what my axle, the GM 10 bolt is.
They sit a little higher up on the...
I don't know. I do know for like instant center adjustment, you raise the mounting points. Actually, on my Chevelle, the lowers, I built new brackets, so lower control is mounted lower. That helped me transfer weight better on launch.
Well, this is as much as I care to clean this. I put a very healthy amount of silicone on there, and we're just going to call it good.
least you'll fill the threaded holes all full of silicone.
Oh yeah. You gotta find the holes first here. There's one. Only the best for this thing. So if anybody out there has a really good cheap solution for this, leave a comment.
Yeah, we might be looking for an axle.
So, honestly, I don't really care what axle we end up with as long as we can get parts for it.
Or bolted in, less fab work.
Yeah. Because basically, unless somebody's got an open carrier for really cheap, for a BOP axle that we could put like a 411 or 456 in, that we could run a mini spool in, I'd be open to that too.
Or welder.
Or a welder.
We can weld spider gears.
The old Lincoln locker. So, yeah.
But that depends on if you have a Lincoln. Because my Chevelle's got a Miller locker in it.
Well, you know, if it's a Hobart or a Miller, they're the same thing. Sure that won't leak a drop. All right, so some oil. All right, well, we got the diff filled with oil, and we got the shift linkage adjusted the best that we can. I think it's time to fire this thing up and see if it goes in gear, see if the wheels move.
And see if it stops.
See if it stops.
You use the brakes on it?
Just by pushing it around. So,
I don't think opening the door is going to help with the exhaust fumes because they're up there.
what's that?
They're up there.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't really go out the back.
All right. See if this thing will run. It's pretty cold right now.
No fuel pump?
Not yet.
Yep. What did you do? Turn your fuel pump off. Okay, how's that getting stuck that bad?
There we go. That was weird.
Don't go wide open yet.
All right, let's try it again. To adjust the throttle. right, I'm gonna go into neutral. Gonna go all the way to forwards.
That was forward.
Well, it moves.
It moves. It is cold-blooded.
Definitely cold-blooded. Well, this carb's way too big for this thing, being an 850, I bet. And no choke.
Yeah, it's cold out. It's a little chilly in here.
Well, that's sweet.
I'd say back it out and pull it back in when
See if it wants to move and see
wants
what.
to move. Yeah.
Let me move my car so we don't we don't run into it.
Your jack's out of jack.
That doesn't surprise me. Man, what's with this snow?
It's November. How'd you get it up on there?
Very carefully.
Well, just so you know, it just touches that axle and doesn't lift it. You ain't got a block of wood. Okay.
Just know the jack, man. Gotta. The angle of the dangle.
Feel it just right.
Yeah.
Will the trunk lid open back? Ooh, that's right.
No. It's just speed holes, man. That'll be all right.
That's tough. It doesn't close.
Yeah, just slam it.
Okay, it closed.
All right, guys. This is going to be the first time this thing's moved under its own power and probably, well...
05.
05. Boy, that surprises me that this thing has been on the road since 05.
It is in rough shape to be 05.
All right, well, let's see what happens here.
Do a burnout.
Damn, it's cold out. Well, guys, it moved under its own power. We got a couple drips coming from the rear diff. Thinking it's the brake line T.
I hear it. Yeah, it's coming out of the T.
On the driver's side fitting.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing's junk. I'll have to get a new line then.
Yeah, you might have to make that one.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. At least it has enough brakes to stop, though.
Well, you don't need rear brakes to do burnouts.
That's very true. I'm thinking we put a grab handle in it, like a drift handle. Then we got all the real estate to do it. So I think that would be pretty cool. Well, guys, it's running under its own power. It's moving. I think the next thing, I'm going to get some more ATF in it and then fix that brake line. And then I think I'm going to probably do something a little different on our cooling fan setup. I like that contour, and I measured it. It'll fit right in, no problem. It's $56. Yeah, those are.
Well, it is 30 degrees out, so you don't really need a fan right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Weather definitely changed quick.
Yeah, but
that's not your floor heat, right? That didn't sound good. Lots of water just flowed from the wrong spot. I gotta try and get video put together. It's gonna be a hodgepodge of stuff, I think. Rob's got his new little toy here, his tractor.
well, that was my overpressure on my boiler. They just went off and puked all over the floor.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, so I guess I got something else to look into. I've got in-floor heat through the shop, and I got a wall-mounted boiler.
Just turned it on
today, which,
first time.
No, I ran it for a little bit last year. So it's been sitting for 6 months.
I still gotta get mine hooked up.
Yeah, having heat.
I need insulation.
It helps. But all right, guys. Well, I think the next time you'll see this car, we're going to be ripping some big burnouts. And
in the snow.
Hey, if we can get some rear tires for this thing, we should rip it around the field. I think it'd be fun.
Right here's tires.
There you go.
They're a little skinny.
Yeah, be a little tall. They'll self-clearance the fenders. Be perfect.
Well, you can just use fronts are a little small.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the rim size is real small. But
wheel spacers. Actually, just wheel spacers big enough to put them outside the body.
There you go. I like it.
You might have seen that on some YouTube videos.
Yeah, we could do it. I'd like to get a decent tire for the rear so we can do some snow donuts. I got a big field in the front of my house. I think its maiden voyage will be ripping some donuts and then go do some burnouts.
I think that's going to have to be another video.
Yep.
I think this one's a wrap.
All right, guys. Well, like, share, subscribe. Let us know if you have any hookups for a rear
BOP 10 bolt.
Yeah, rear
8.2
situation.
inch.
We're open to anything that, like a 9-inch that's got all the bracketry that we can bolt in. I think our best bet, if we can find something, is try to find somebody who's got a cheap open carrier that we can put a mini spool in and then just throw a set of gears in it. I'm assuming that would probably be the cheapest option. Kind of looked on eBay, looked around. I don't see anything online yet, but let us know. Drop a comment if you got something we can be able to hook us up with.
256 is definitely a surprise.
Yeah.
That's a bad gear to try and have fun with.
Airplane gear.
Unless we want to do half-mile running.
This thing would be a dog. So, but...
Be a little scary at half-mile speeds.
He'd knock most of the rust out of it, I'm sure. But, all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you